up, Zoners? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, coming at you live from the West Coast. And this is the Fantasy Red Zone. Today, we have a very special guest. Our partner in crime, our partner in fantasy. He guides us through rough waters. His name is Jason, the lucky bastard Youth and Walt. Come say us eight.
Hi, everybody. Hi, it's good to be here. I don't know if you can hear it, but this is the Bulls theme song I was trying to walk through it.
Is it Bulls only?
It's only the Bulls, right?
I thought it was NBA in general.
Makes me want to go to the park right now and play.
I bet you can't even hear it, dude, when you're listening to this. It blocks out music when I try to put it in there.
This could have been a waste. But then we won't get sued for copyright. All right.
We're going to get sued for copyright as the NFL shield pops up, Jason. We're watching Monday Night Football together. We are in the same town doing podcasts together, for God's sakes, man. So this is a special treat for both of us. Hey, man, it is week 10 coming up, man, already. Holy shit. Hopefully you are in the playoff picture. If not, don't worry, man. You can still make some trades. There might still be some people on the waiver wire, man. I just got Cedric Tillman, for God's sakes, a couple weeks ago. Look at this, all right? So there is hope to be had, all right? So, yeah, we got trade targets today, man. We got smashes and crashes. We got the news, fantasy news, to go over, and we're going to react to all of that, Jason. But before we get into all of that, we need help, man. This show needs help. Just listen to us, dude. Look at this house. We need help, man. We need subscribers. Would you please tell the public, Jason, how they can help this show?
Yeah, I don't know where I looked. I looked there.
It's a lamp, dude. There. We got this thing on a fucking lamp.
Hey, if you made it this far and enjoy two friends talking about fantasy football, then please hit the subscribe. Press the like. We like likes. Leave us a comment. Let us know about these trade targets that we're going to go over. Do you have any trade targets? Do you have any questions about trade targets? Let us know. We're also on the radio on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And hey, we even have a Patreon. After the Patreon, we can do this a lot more. You can pay for the gas.
Dude.
The gas.
The only way we're ever going to... the best way to support the show is through Patreon, is through subscribing, is through liking, man, every time you watch. Because this just needs to get bigger, man. Let's get into the fantasy news, man. And right now, Baker Mayfield threw 2 touchdowns already. One to Cade Otton? What was the other one?
I think they were both.
Was it both to Cade Otton?
I know they have one to Cade Otton. I know Rachaad White has a rushing touchdown.
Baker Mayfield, dude, he scored like 20-plus fantasy points for 7 weeks in a row or some crazy shit like that. He's already on his way to do it again this week against one of the toughest defenses. So, man, if you picked him up a while ago, I am jealous. Jason, the NFL trade deadline is tomorrow. I am an ETN owner. I was a Christian Kirk owner. That was the only reason I was holding on to those assholes. Now, it is almost going to be over with. All my pain is about to fade away. Do you think that, ETN, you are the Cowboys fan? You were just telling me that Dowdle just looked great. We don't need ETN. But I was just looking at the articles on Reddit and stuff, and they were saying that ETN, average 8 yards a carry, man, was all over the place in the first half. They took him out, man. They showcased him. Wanted to show that he was healthy, and they should be trading him away. And, yeah, I mean, the obvious choice is for him to go to... Well, maybe the San Francisco 49ers, man.
Christian McCaffrey's supposed to be coming back.
I know. I'm just thinking, what else is there out there?
I think it might get to a point now where the Cowboys might be shit out of luck when it comes to making any type of playoff run with Dak Prescott missing some time. CeeDee Lamb is hurt. I mean, they're talking about that he still might play, but is it worth it? And then if you you're a Travis Etienne owner. I know you don't normally play him. If he goes to the Cowboys, would you play him?
If I saw it happen.
You got to see it first. You got to see how he does first and then throw him in there.
So at week 10, week 11, yeah. So it'd be like around week 12 where you'd feel comfortable starting him, and then playoffs start week 15. So not ideal for your second round pick. Next up, man, we got Dennis Allen fired. We didn't get him fired.
We tried.
I talked about shit.
We tried.
If you're a defensive head coach, your goddamn defense better be playing some good damn defense. All right? So Dennis Allen, just like at least Las Vegas has actually been playing pretty good defense as of late. But yeah, dude, that team pretty much quit on them and all those. Remember when you were like, dude, this is crazy. You were sending all those tweets about Derek Carr. Like, the players were going nuts after the game.
Yeah. They were like hating on what was happening. They could not believe that they lost to the Carolina Panthers. And they were like, Michael Thomas was attacking Derek Carr.
Bryce Young's out here getting coaches fired, man, left and right.
I know. It's like
He's already gotten 2 coaches. They're like the Coach Slayer. I just was watching Jack the Giant Slayer, Jason. One of my favorite movies. I know you love it.
Right.
And
I'll watch the Bryce Young version of that though. I'll watch that. I want to see how it is.
I think Jack on that movie is actually taller than Bryce Young in real life.
Barely.
Anyways, man. So Dennis Allen fired. Do I think that this means anything? The special teams coordinator goes in. I would have preferred well, you know what? It's probably better that the offensive coordinator didn't do it. But you can expect a ton more. Alvin Kamara, dude, is all they have. Taysom Hill came on this week. But still, man, who knows what's going to be happening? The only player that you want from there has to be Alvin Kamara, and that's it.
Yeah, the dude's going to get triple the targets now.
And I was hating on him, but shit, dude. And then once Shaheed went down, and now Olave's going down. What the fuck are we doing?
He's the only option. But the thing is, with Taysom Hill back, Taysom Hill is going to be the goal line dude.
Jason, Raiders offensive coordinator fired, and now that's Luke Getsy. I haven't even heard about who's going to be calling the offensive now, but holy shit, they better call the plays to Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers was getting like 15 plus targets in the beginning of the year. He's only been getting like 5 or 6 targets, but still doing okay. A touchdown saved his last week. But yeah, man, I need more to Brock Bowers. I want Aiden O'Connell to come back. He should be coming back in like 2 weeks. But yeah, man, Luke Getsy getting fired really doesn't mean much to me.
Doesn't mean much to anybody, really.
I know, right? We're talking about how important offensive coordinators are when the team's that terrible. It really doesn't matter.
How long before it's the head coach's problem? I feel like the only reason why they're not going after Antonio Pierce now is because
they're just going to fire him in the offseason.
He's new, but this is only like his 10th game? Something like that? 15th game? It's like, it can't be him. The problem was before him. Or is it him?
I don't know. What the fuck? AJ Brown, Jason, not expected to miss any significant. So I saw that he was totally okay. The tweet came out. He's like, "Hey, man, he's fine. Whatever." Then the tweet came out that he is not to miss any significant amount of time. So what is that? What is significant amount of time? That's IR. So right now I'm thinking 3 weeks or less. I would almost expect him to miss this next week. And then you have Goddard out still. So there's that tight end, like Caltera, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That should be a pretty sneaky play. And then Devontae Smith.
And Smith was a trade target, last week or the week before?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to trade for that fucker for a while. Christian McCaffrey, Jason, returning to practice today for the first time since 9/14, almost 9/11, never forget. When he hit IR, set to play versus Bucks this next week versus Schefter. So Jordan Mason hasn't been doing shit. He's been banged up. And now Christian McCaffrey comes back. Isaac Guerrero was like, I don't know, finally had a good game. But yeah, Christian McCaffrey come back. I would expect him to get like 15 touches or something like that.
Yeah, but his Achilles, man, they're like rubber bands. And it's the first game in like all season. Do we play him that first game? I think, you know what? I think like if you held on to him all year.
That's what I said about Waddle and fucking Hill.
I mean, I think I would play him. If he's been in my IR.
He's our number 1 overall pick.
I'm like, if they say he's ready, he's going to get 10
probably
snaps.
Already in last place anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Go down swinging, man.
Yeah, try to take down some people.
Well, you'd feel so bad, like if he scored, if he was on your bench and just went off the first week back. Oh my god. But yeah, all right. And then Juwan Jennings and Jake Moody, I think that's his name. But Moody, I had him. He was gone for like fucking 4 weeks, dude. So you go pick him up on your waiver wire this week. He's a great. I mean, they've had issues with the red zone, but with Christian McCaffrey back, their red zone issues might be solved. I don't know, man. I wouldn't bet on it, but still. So Moody and Juwan Jennings practicing. Juwan Jennings was a trade target last week because of the bye and injury. Now you're probably gonna have to pay up. Good luck. I'd still want him. I'd still trade for him. Jason, Dak to miss multiple weeks. I told you this morning. They're considering IR. And now McCarthy, dude, doesn't even have a contract after this year. So he's probably like, fuck you, dude. We're not putting him on IR, you know? He's coming back.
He's got to.
We're filling his leg full of peptides and steroids.
He's coming back next week.
Yeah.
He'll come out there with a wooden leg. That motherfucker's going to play. Yeah, this doesn't look good for the Cowboys at all, though. I mean, but, you know, the leagues that we're in, I think a lot of people dropped Dak Prescott. And Dak Prescott was actually my play of the week for a quarterback this week just because of the the matchup that he had. But even the offensive line looked so bad. They have to be one of the worst offensive lines.
I heard you say Guyton. I heard you last night when we were watching that game. Guyton.
That's all it was. Tyler Guyton.
First round pick, man. Wasted a first round pick.
I was like, geez, what's going on? But yeah, it doesn't look good for the Cowboys or Prescott. So, I mean, for fantasy purposes, dumpster fire.
Yeah, we're gonna hit this up on the trade aways in a minute. So there's a player you drafted high, man. You should probably trade him away for what you can, and then people will still be paying. Will still be pay a price to roll the dice on this player. So stick around. Ask for an update on wide receiver Nico Collins, Jason. That was Jason's big hit last year. He told you to draft Nico Collins, who is eligible to return from IR this week. D'Amico Ryan said, we'll continue to evaluate Nico throughout the week and see where he is, so that is not encouraging to me. Usually, you hear about this shit, like even before they come back from IR. Oh, he's looking fantastic. Pacheco and shit, I'm hearing. All this stuff. So for him not to be like, hey, he's ahead of schedule or on schedule or just say anything, I don't think that's great.
Yeah, and for Tank Dell owners like myself, I don't want him coming back anytime soon. I want him to relax. I want him to get that.
Tank Dell finished the game last week, right?
Yeah, he scored like 19 points.
Yeah, but he didn't get injured at the end, right? I don't think he did.
No, he's a tank.
He's a tank. Yeah, sure, dude. Tell that to his leg, dog.
He's out there running routes on that same leg that got shot.
Highest. Okay, this is crazy. The highest inaccurate target rates, Jason, for players with 25-plus targets this season. Number 6, Rome Odunze, 23%. Number 8, Keenan Allen, 22%.
Don't do it.
Number 10, DJ Moore, 20%.
Oh, my God.
So, 3 wide receivers in the top 10.
That's so bad.
Dude, Caleb fucking Williams. I know you're in USC. We were just talking about this. I was like, dude, Caleb sucks. I mean, I know he's a rookie and everything, but they need, and it's mostly coaching. I'll tell you, he does not suck. Him and that coach just suck together. Shane Waldron's fucking gone. I'm surprised they haven't even fired him right now. So, that's the issue. I don't see it getting better at all this year. I'm out. I'm trying to trade. I'm actually looking to try to weigh DJ Moore. I'm going to package his ass and just start trading. I had him as my fantasy MVP this year. He's had like 2 good games.
I just need Caleb Williams to be better, have a better career than Bryce Young.
Because of?
If someone as small as Bryce Young can play better than somebody from USC.
Oh, God. What about Johnny Manziel, man? Johnny Manziel is
he's out of there, dude. You know how much footage he watched? How much tape he watched? 0. That's what he said.
He was watching all that Girls Gone Wild on Channel 38. Infomercials, baby. You know, young Tyler Ward was out there watching that shit.
Nostalgia.
I was like, Mom, Dad, get out of here.
Get out of here and shut the door.
It's 11 o'clock.
Go to bed.
I want to watch the Girls Gone Wild. 2 DVDs for $20. Chase, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Chase Brown, Jason, dealing with bruised ribs. Pretty bad. You saw him go off, man. Like
27 carries.
In this offense, like Joe Mixon last year. Dude, I mean, this offense can support a top running back, and it has shown it a couple times this season. But yeah, so watch this. We don't want Zach Moss getting any more play. Most dropped interceptions this season, Jason. Oh, I told you this stat already. This is funny.
I know. This sounds familiar.
Matthew Stafford, 6.
Oh.
Jameson Winston has 5. Jameson Winston has played 2 full games this season.
That's the joke with him, though, right? He's out there playing.
How many interceptions?
Football. Fucking
well, was it how many interceptions? He threw 3 interceptions.
Yeah. 3 interceptions.
So how many did he get dropped this last game?
Isn't that crazy to think about? So wait, there was a potential for a lot more than just 3. You don't care, man. He does wear glasses, right?
Shit. What was I going to do? Is there a pin around here? Fuck the pin. I'll find it later. I was going to point towards this. All right, guys. Going to trade targets. I got to timestamp this shit. Whatever, man.
So this is what timestamp.
Hey, support the show, dude. Support the show. Please subscribe, give us $5 a month on that Patreon, man. Please. I mean, come on, man. I'm asking a lot. I hate when people ask me for money, dude. I hate when I go to the gas station and there's somebody there asking me for gas money. Like, how the fuck did you get here?
I know, right? I hate when they go, do you have any bills, man?
It's like, dude.
I can't remember last time I even had cash on me.
I'm putting $20 in my tank because I don't want to. That's all I got. I'm not going to put. If I gave you $10, it's like 50% more than
you put in 20. I put in 19. 92 because that's all I got left. I'm like, I can't go even more.
You're talking to the wrong person, man. Hey, let's go to trade 4. Trade targets. Jason, I was talking about like high-end running backs to trade for, and Jason mentioned Breece Hall, and then this last week happened. Dude, Breece Hall, running back 7, only 74 rushing yards and 10 PPR points versus Houston this last week. Only 4 touchdowns on the season. So all of his points this year, it's not like they've been coming from touchdowns, and he's still running back 7. He has not scored over the last 2 games while being outside. He's been outside the top 24, Jason, last 2 weeks. So he's been a flex option 2 weeks in a row when you drafted him in the first round. So Breece Hall, let's see. Oh, yeah. Only one 100-yard. Isn't this crazy? Only one 100-yard rushing game this season. Like, if I'm thinking about Breece Hall this season, I would be like, dude, he's got like 4, like at least like 3 100-yard rushing games. He only has 1. So his owners, I don't know. I mean, he's been getting some points, and the points he's been getting, he's been earning, dude, especially in PPR. And then he has been getting had a 57% rushing back share in week 8, and everybody was like, holy shit, this is terrible. So his owners were already afraid. And then he improved that week 9, getting to 80% pretty much. And Braylon Allen has not been a factor for a while. So again, he did not get much. He was outside the top 24. Outside the top 24 last week. Did not get much rushing snap share. So his owners noticed that. And then he only scored 10 PPR points this week. So I'm looking for him, and I was looking at upcoming schedules, Jason. He's getting Arizona, Indianapolis. Then he has a bye. Then he gets fucking Seattle, who's allowing like the most rushing yards right now. Then he gets Miami, who's allowing a ton of rushing. They are a run funnel defense. And then Jacksonville the first week of playoffs. So for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, you got one bye in there. But he has got an amazing running back schedule going forward. He's had a pretty shitty schedule for a while. So if you can trade for him this week and get ahead of this schedule, I think that you're going to be super happy about everything. Oh, here's the pen right here. What do you think about Breece Hall, Jason? What kind of shit are people trading for? Again, this is a machine. Jason made it himself. That's a lie.
I made this myself.
But it tells you could put in 2 people's names or 1 people's name, and it tells you the trades that were involved with those people.
I want to share this first. For some reason, it might be because of the offensive line not as good as we expected them to be over the changes they made in the offseason, but his running metrics are not good. But, bro, target share, he's number 3. For running backs, right? Routes run, he's number 1. Routes participation, he's number 1. Yards per reception, he's number 5. So now it's like this is just something to think about when you're going to be trying to trade for this guy. Like, don't think about the rushing. Tyler, you said he only had a 100-yard rushing game. You're right.
And only 4 total touchdowns on the season. So it's like he's been getting his points either via receptions or yards.
And it was against Buffalo, which is they allow the run.
Yeah, they're a pass funnel defense. Yep.
So that's something to think about. Like, they still get him, dude, his stuffed run. He's number 1. He gets tackled behind the line more than anybody else this season. That tells you it's the offensive line, but he's heavily involved in the passing game. Okay, so some trades that actually happened for Breece Hall.
Give it to me.
Oh, dude.
What?
I would do this. Tank Dell.
Oh, fuck, dude. Are you kidding me? What kind of shit? Well, I mean, I guess because Nico Collins news and then with everybody injured in CJ Stroud. So, yeah, I wouldn't do it. I would think that'd be out of package. You had to package out like him and Mostert or something, man. Him and Kareem Hunt, even.
Let's stay in the same team. Garrett Wilson
for Breece Hall?
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Because Garrett Wilson, I was just looking at target share percentages. They've gone up. Him and Devontae Adams are like at 30% target shares now. And it's been going up every single week.
Let me do 2 more real quick. What about Juwan Jennings?
I'd rather have Breece Hall.
And then what about Devon Achane?
Well, fuck. I mean, Achane is the man. Everybody's going over his metrics right now. But that all hinges on... I mean, so does Breece Hall. No, I mean, if Aaron Rodgers went down, it wouldn't change his value that much. But you know what? I would rather have Achane. You can't say no to Achane right now.
No. Okay.
You can't. Achane cannot be denied right now. All right, man. Hey, last time we did this, last show we did, I told Jason that it was not muted. It was fucking muted.
The whole time.
Whole hour-long episode. It was a good one.
There's an episode out there somewhere.
May 2022, I think.
Me and Tyler just talking to each other, and you can't hear us. But it was good.
Hey, if you like this together, let us know. Maybe we'll try to make more efforts. I say that. I'll try to make more efforts. All right, dude. So, yeah, Breece Hall is a big one for me. And the next one, dude, you got to get ahead of this. This is going to be the lowest you can get of him. Josh Downs. He's wide receiver 23 right now. And just for a bonus, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Are we doing that later? Jonathan Taylor?
No.
So Jonathan Taylor is a bonus. Only 8 PPR points versus Minnesota this week. That was a terrible matchup. Dude, Jonathan Taylor, if you can get a hold of him, get him. But we're going to be focusing on Josh Downs right now. Led the team in targets again with 9. Led the team in reception yards with only 60, dude. For some reason, the Vikings stopped the pass, all right? Josh Downs had one of the best cornerback matchups this week. Flacco had one of the best matchups. And I was telling Jason this, dude. Did you see how many times they fucking had this? They did a close-up on Joe Flacco on the bench 100 times. They were trying to see if he was asleep or not. Dude, I'm telling you, man, that was the most I've ever seen of a person on a bench.
That's all he did.
But yeah, so Minnesota, that was super disappointing for all the owners of Josh Downs, man. They've been rejecting all the trades, everything. They were supposed to have this amazing week. They did. He ended up, man, with the 9 targets. He ended up with 12 PPR points, so that is disappointing to trade for. But he should have got like 30 fucking points, man. So Josh Downs again, he saw a 33% target share last night while running a route on just 2/3 of the Colts dropbacks. So he's seen 9+ targets in 5 of 7 games this year. That's not even with Flacco, dude. That's even with Anthony Richardson. Shane Steichen came out today, said that Flacco is the rest of the season answer. They are not going to go back to Anthony Richardson. So Josh Downs' value just goes up that much more. And then I did go back. Flacco, I did go back to see how Flacco ended the season with Amari Cooper last year, Jason. They played 3 games together. He had 14+ targets in 2 of those games. He had 265 yards and like 2 touchdowns one of those games too. So I'm just saying, man, Josh Downs late season, there is a chance with a little bit more reps for him to go fucking nuclear with Flacco. Now, the problem here, Jason, I told you this, but you said you really didn't care. The playoff schedule, Denver and Tennessee, weeks 15 and 16. He did have 66 yards and a touchdown versus Tennessee earlier this season, and that was with Joe Flacco.
It was.
So I still don't mind it. Denver scares me, but Tennessee does not.
He scored 19 points against Tennessee.
So, yeah. So I still would love to trade for Josh Downs. Right now, that was his worst matchup, and where he was versus expectation, his owners are pretty disappointed right now.
Right. Well, I still think Josh Downs is going to be a league winner now with Joe Flacco on play. So the Colts offensive line, they actually have been improving on their pass blocking rate. And this was a matchup that was set for Josh Downs to have a bigger game. I mean, he still led the team in all those categories that you talked about. But the Minnesota Vikings, they blitz more than anybody else in the league. And normally, when I was reading off PFF, is that their blitz rate is not that great, or they're not good at blitzing. But this game, they figured it out, and they were able to get to Flacco, and Flacco couldn't get enough time. But during all that, he was still trying to get the ball to Josh Downs. That's what you want. Fantasy points per route run for Josh Downs, he's 14th overall. That's great. And when it comes to man, he's top 10 versus man. And in routes and targets and fantasy points target versus man, he's all top 10, top 5. He's a good player. Going forward, he needs to get more time. And besides last game, the Colts have actually been doing pretty well at that in the past 5 or 6 games. Their offensive line have improved in the passing. And let's see some trades that are.
Dude, DeAndre Hopkins is going to have like.
Did he just score again?
He has 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I saw something that they took the lead, and I think it was because of him. There we go.
And
Tampa Bay, they also do have a bad secondary.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. This is Patrick Mahomes' best game. We ranked him as high as we have in a long time. But I'm just pissed off on my dude. DeAndre Hopkins doesn't have. I mean, he's got 7 for 7, dude. 7 receptions on 7 targets. Damn. They look so good together tonight. This is fucked. So yeah, congratulations, DeAndre Hopkins owners. I did not expect that. I mean, I thought it was going to be okay. I did not. He's looking great. So, but yeah, Jason. So you went over that. What was the trades?
Tony Pollard for Josh Downs.
That's so funny because Tony Pollard I have on he's actually on transition. I don't know if I should trade for him if you need to win now, you trade for. You do that because Tony Pollard has a terrible schedule for 3 weeks and then an amazing schedule for 3 weeks. So yeah, I would do that depending on my situation. But that is fair.
DeAndre Swift for Josh Downs.
I would rather have Josh Downs in full PPR.
Okay, then we got. Okay, what if you did a package deal? I think I know where you would go with this. Josh Downs, Marvin Harrison Jr. for Justin Jefferson.
Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah. Justin Jefferson's been like the best thing ever this year. I mean, I've owned him. It's just, all my other wide receivers have been so disappointing after Rice. I do have Cedric Tillman right now. I guess he's going to be my wide receiver too, I guess.
Well, let's do this last one real quick because it's a tight end. Would you do Jake Ferguson for Josh Downs?
No.
Okay.
Much rather have Josh Downs. Like, man, you can go get Hunter Henry off the fucking waiver wire.
Oh, the fucking waiver wire.
Jason, and then speaking of tight ends, dude, I would trade for Kyle Pitts right now. So everybody's talking about trading for. He's a tight end 5. Isn't that crazy? He's tight end 5 right now. But there was actually a thread. I just read it after I did all this stuff on Reddit about who to trade for late schedules or whatever. And they said you need to target the Falcons. And what I can't remember who the other teams were, but the Falcons kind of stood up because I was like, yeah, well, I like Pitts. But Pitts, man, saw a season low 4.2% target share. Only 1 target week 9. So that has not been the case. I think that is an outlier. He did catch that target, though, for 11 yards. He has finished with less than 65 receiving yards, Jason, for the first time in 5 weeks. So that's like 6 points from your tight end right there. Not to count the receptions that they came with. And he's been getting some touchdowns as well. So he's been awesome. And the talent is there, dude. And then we have London injured. He's been going he's undergoing tests on his hip today to see how bad it is. It looked bad. So if he misses any time, Pitts should get more work. And then let's see. The playoffs. I was checking out his playoffs. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Wait, you know what? He has 3 top 10 finishes, all right, with 1 number 2 finish over the last 5 games. So 3 top 10 finishes over the last 5 games. One of those is a top 2 finish. He's been the 7th most targeted tight end over that stretch. And now with London gone, he should get more targets. And then I was looking at his playoff schedule, Jason. Las Vegas, the Giants, and Washington. Those 3 defenses are nothing to worry about with tight ends. So, yeah, I would – if I could trade for Kyle Pitts and target that for a tight end, I would. Because there's a couple teams in our league, Jason, that have everything's good except for the tight end. Is that you?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's you. I was like, you're a really good team, except so if you could try to I don't know if you could try to trade for a tight end.
We were big on Pat Freiermuth.
I was big on Pat Freiermuth, man. I thought it was going to be a good idea.
I even thought it was going to be good with Russell Wilson, but that's not the case. The key here is Kyle Pitts was my pause of the week in week 5. Starting week 5, 15, 10, 13, 25 points. So he made me look bad, and then he wanted to continue to make me look bad. So he did great for the next 4 weeks. So when it comes to his passing metrics, he's been killing it. He's doing really well. His average target distance is 7.8. That's 6th best for tight ends, which means he is further down the field when he is being targeted. His yards after catch, he's number 3. His receiving yards, he's number 4. And then his receptions, number 10 for a tight end. So that's good. He's involved in the offense despite this last game. But that is what you want on your tight ends. It's what we've been kind of expecting with him for quite a long time. But
sucks, man. The Kareem Hunt does not get any touchdowns, dude. That's where all his value comes from because he doesn't catch any passes. So I'm like, full PPR, he's getting 9 points right now, 90-something yards.
Oh, shoot. And then Kansas City has the ball right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do this. Would you do Kyle Pitts or Marvin Harrison Jr. for Kyle Pitts?
Yeah, I would rather have Kyle Pitts, probably. Shit. I mean, with the scarcity of tight ends and what he's been doing.
There's a lot of tight end for tight end. Oh, here we go. Cedric Tillman for Kyle Pitts.
Oof. I'd rather have Cedric Tillman, but Jameis Winston needs to be the goddamn starter. Otherwise, Cedric Tillman doesn't matter. So I'm not 100% sure there. But if I needed a tight end, I'd rather have Pitts. That is a fair trade.
So this trade's actually been on here 3 times in the last 2 days. Nick Chubb for Kyle Pitts.
People love trading for Nick Chubb right now. So if you had because Jameis Winston, man, I mean, you think that there'd be some touchdowns coming soon for Nick Chubb. So I think that is a fair trade. If it depends on what I need, really. If I needed a tight end, because like to me, like tight ends are just like if I need one, I need one. You know, like I would trade for it. But if I didn't need one of them, I would do that because obviously you're not going to be trying to trade for a tight end unless you don't need one.
All right.
So I would do that. I think that Chubb would be worth getting you a top tight end. Yeah, I mean, I need to think that way when I think about that, because it's like why would the fuck would I trade? It's like, well, if you're trading for a tight end, you obviously need one. So
it's only logical.
It's only logical, Jason. This next guy, man, was your running back. I bet you wish you had him back last year on the Cowboys. Running back 19 right now, Tony Pollard, and this is a transition. Like I said, this depends. If you need to win now, you trade away Tony Pollard, especially after this last game. But hey, if you are set for the playoffs, trade for Tony Pollard probably after next week, okay? Because he just had this big game. But so I just wanted to add Tony Pollard. I've been saying to trade for him for like 3 weeks. 128 rushing yards and 18 fantasy points, Jason, versus New England. They just stuffed they were called soft because they couldn't stop the run. Then they stopped the run against, I forget who they went against last week. And then this week, they're right back to being soft, man.
I think they played the Jets last week.
I want to say that's what it was. And then he's eighth in yards after contact per attempt this year, which is pretty awesome for Tony Pollard. Spears to return soon, and Callahan today just said, I don't know if I didn't tell you this, Jason. It was like the offensive coordinator. He was saying that he wants to reduce the carries for Tony Pollard because it's wearing on him. So
I got something to give you about that.
Yeah, and then so Tony Pollard still hasn't had a game with a sub 10% target share, so he continues to get a good target share. He scored between 14 and 19 PPR points in 75% of his games, man. He's been awesome. The other two games were 5.9 and 8.5. So he's been great, all right? And after this game, you should be able to trade him away for something great. He has terrible matchups, dude. He's got the Chargers, the Vikings, and then Houston over the next 3 weeks. But then he gets Jacksonville, Cincinnati, and Indianapolis, and then Jacksonville again to start or to end the fantasy season. So his playoffs, dude, are Cincinnati, Indianapolis, and Jacksonville, and he gets Jacksonville again right before that. So for a month, he will be helping your team in the end of the season, just killing shit. But for 3 weeks, in the next 3 weeks, he will not be helping you at all. So depending on what you're doing, man, trade away Pollard if you need to win right now. Package him and get something great. And if you just want to wait a week, maybe even 2 weeks, trade for Tony Pollard. How do you feel about all that, Jason?
The one thing... Ooh, did I find it? I was going through all this stuff like a couple of weeks ago, and one of the things that was kind of scary was that, Tony Pollard, I think he leads the league in missed tackles, or he was top 2.
Okay.
But the thing was, it's 90% of his rushing yards became after a hit.
Contacts. That's why he's averaging yards after contact.
That's what it was, and which is great for fantasy purposes. But that's also bad
because his offensive line sucks.
So he's getting hit.
Yeah, and they just lost their center. I'm pretty sure they just lost their center this last game too.
So he keeps getting hit. I mean, he's breaking tackles, but then it's how many hits until he's no longer able to break tackles? So that's why they were just kind of going to lower his.
I think that he's more signs are pointing towards a trade away, but I've had his playoff schedule in here for a month and a half, dude. So
well, I'm okay. I mean, they're not going to take it. They're not going to reduce him to under 10 carries a game. So I'm still okay with going for this guy just because he has been doing really well, and his matchup is just you can't look past his matchup.
So what does it take, Jason? What will it take me to get Tony Pollard?
Would you give up Josh Allen?
Fuck no.
Would you give up Ramondre Stevenson?
Yes.
And then DK Metcalf.
Yeah, probably. DK Metcalf is kind of scaring me right now. Dude, JSN's better than DK Metcalf when he's getting the targets, given they're different type of targets.
I know, yeah.
But it's DK Metcalf gets the targets, but he's still, dude, he's picking up where he left off last year with the catch rate.
And then last one, Devontae Adams.
For Tony Pollard?
Yeah.
Oh. Full PPR? I think that's fair. So I would take Devontae Adams in full PPR. But if I needed a running back, I would definitely get Tony Pollard. But, I want to start 3 wide receivers in full PPR, so I value wide receivers a little bit more. That has been the last 2 seasons, Jason. So,
okay.
All right, and lastly, just a real quick trade for Drake London, wide receiver 6, injured and has the 5th best season strength of schedule rest of the season. So I threw that in there after I saw that everybody's trying to trade for Falcons. Don't worry about Drake London right now, Jason.
Oh, all right. You see me type it away?
Yeah, I'm just throwing that in there. All right, here's a big trade away. We're on the trade aways. All right, you have these players. Trade them away. Jason, look at me in the face.
Oh, okay.
I needed time to think. CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver 4. This fool's wide receiver 4.
I know.
12 targets, 47 yards, and 15 fantasy or PPR points. Dude, 12 targets and he only got 15 fucking PPR points, Jason. Week 9 versus Atlanta. Only 2 top 12 finishes out of his 8 games played this year. Only 2 top 12 finishes in 8 games played. That's crazy. Dude, he's been a wide receiver 2 or lower.
Yeah.
I'm not just like sitting here. I've been drinking. I'm just like.
You're yelling at me.
I'm yelling at me. Yeah, blah, blah. So he did get injured this game, Jason, but he's considered week to week. Sprained AC joint, and he's already expected to play versus Philadelphia. Dak to miss multiple weeks with a hamstring injury, and hell, dude, they already saying that he might put him on IR. There's a consideration to put him on IR. So now we're looking at Cooper Rush and the 10th worst strength of schedule the rest of the season. So he's got bottom 3rd strength of schedule for wide receivers. And then, hey, let's look at how he did with Cooper Rush in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. Let's see, 10 targets, 68 yards versus Philadelphia. That's what's going to happen next week. 8 targets, 53 yards. Rams. Let's see, 8 targets, 97 yards and a touchdown. 12 targets, 87 yards and a touchdown. 2 good weeks. Washington and the Giants last year. The 2 worst fucking defenses in the world last year. And then, let's see, then the last game, 7 receptions for 75 yards, 11 targets versus Cincinnati. So he would still get, around almost 9-10 targets on average. But it just never broke 100 yards. Got a touchdown, like 2 out of 5 games. He's going to be a wide receiver 2, best case scenario, Jason. Moving forward with Cooper Rush, you could still get value on CeeDee Lamb, man. Like, I was even thinking about trading for him.
Especially if you give those stats to the guy when you massage the trade.
Dude, yeah. I mean,
right? How long ago was that? When they did Cooper Rush, wasn't that like 2-3 years ago?
That was last year.
That was last year with Cooper Rush? Dak Prescott missed some time last year?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, did he?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure these stats were from last year, too. I'll look real fast, but I was like, dude, I'm almost 100% sure that's Cooper Rush when he carried him for like 5 games.
No, that wasn't last year.
That wasn't last year.
Dak Prescott played the whole year.
That's why he got paid his money.
Yeah.
Well, you're the Cowboys fan, dude. I mean, so I guess that was, but I was thinking these stats are from when he went nuclear. It's like, so he was doing so bad with Rush and then went nuclear back with Dak.
Yeah, I think it's when he broke his thumb and he missed 5 games, I think.
You know better than I do.
I was going to say, this is a different team then, too. The one thing, who also had great games those weeks were the running backs for the Cowboys because
You're right.
Because all they were doing, they're like, let's focus more on the run. You can't do that now.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So that was like the first 5 weeks of 2022,
yeah.
Jason.
It was
that's with a great offensive line.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. They do not have that great offensive line. They don't have.
Yeah, how's Cooper Rush under pressure? Because we know how Dak is when he has time.
For real.
And now, dude, everybody's expecting Cooper Rush to be great. The motherfucker's going to get
different times. They can't rely on their defense. They can't rely on the running game. I think it's pretty smart to get rid of him.
So CeeDee Lamb, what kind of trades are they going through?
Let me see. Okay. Christian McCaffrey. Ooh, intriguing.
For CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah.
I would do that.
Breece Hall.
I would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley.
Oh, my God, yeah. Dude, trade away CeeDee Lamb, man. Listen to the names.
Jamar Chase. All these really happened, people. In real life. In real time.
I wish we played in leagues with these fucking people.
I mean, that's really it. Everything else is packages with 7 other people.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah. So, you can put CeeDee Lamb with somebody and trade for whoever you want. I think that is the best trade away, of all time right now.
I know my brother-in-law is listening. Listen.
Why? CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb.
Would you trade for him? It'd be awesome. It'd be awesome to have CeeDee Lamb on my team, but I'm like, dude,
yeah.
I don't know.
I'll give him Bucky Irving.
Yeah, right. Tracy Jones Jr. Maybe I think.
Right.
I don't even know, man. All right, man. Next up, this guy is huge as well. He's been getting all of his points via touchdowns. That's not what you want. That is not what you want. Yards correlate to more consistent success, targets, stuff like that. J.K. Dobbins right now, 85 rushing yards, but the 2 touchdowns, man, for 24 PPR points. Running back 6 finish on the week. So their owners are just like riding high, man, right now. 3 touchdowns over the last 2 games. With the Chargers are now going from a top 5 run rate. They were top 5 run rate, Jason, for the first, 6, 7 games.
Yeah.
Last 2 weeks, they're in the middle of the pack. Justin Herbert throwing it 35 times plus times over the last couple weeks. So that is not what you want for J.K. Dobbins. He has failed to reach double-digit target share in 3 of his last 4 games. So he's not getting any targets. Below, 9% or below target rate. He's averaging over 17 PPR fantasy points per game during that time, thanks to 4 touchdown rushes. So this guy is just getting all of his points through touchdowns. He's not getting targeted in the passing game, even though they're passing more, Jason.
We're talking about like the last 3 games have been like over 30 attempts, right?
And then you want to look at his efficiency metrics. You're like, holy shit, this guy's 46th in forced missed tackles per attempt. That is one of the best stats you can have. To be a good running back, and he sucks, dude. He's terrible at it. He has the 8th highest stuff rate, so he's getting jammed up in the backfield already. Gus is eligible to return this next week. Kamani Vidal looks great. Yeah. I would trade away Dobbins if I could.
Yeah, his yards per touch, he's 26 overall, and that's not good. You want that in top 10. Get rid of this guy. His juke rate, 53rd overall. Evaded tackles, 25th overall. So out of the top 25, out of the top 30. So this was something I was always worried about this guy because, I'm actually surprised he's still getting touchdowns. But, yeah, if he's the only running back because Edwards gone, someone's got to do. But I felt like he did so well in the very beginning, but I don't know if his legs actually keep up the whole year, So luckily he's getting the touchdowns, but if he's not going to get the touchdowns, he ain't doing shit.
Yeah, and you just look at he's been doing, he started off amazing. He did do well against Denver like a month ago, and so I was like, oh man, you need to trade for J.K. Dobbins. He's like actually doing well against good defenses. Falling off a cliff, man.
Yeah, and you don't want people who are touchdown dependent because when it doesn't happen, your guys.
Well, that's what we're like trade. Who we were saying to trade for because of the touchdowns? It was Breece Hall.
Mm-hmm.
He only has 4 on the year total touchdowns, whereas Dobbins has like 4 in the last couple games. You know what I'm saying? So you want to capitalize on that if you were a Dobbins owner. Well, package him away, do whatever you got to do. What can you get for him?
Breece Hall.
Yeah, fucking A, dude. If you could trade straight up for Breece Hall, do that.
What if you need a quarterback? Would you do Joe Burrow?
Dude, Joe Burrow's too inconsistent for me. I love Joe Burrow.
He is.
But it's just the way he gets his points. It's like Jamar Chase. It's like, well, Jamar Chase has been pretty consistent this year. But it's like, hey, man, I'm going to finish as quarterback 5, but I've got 6 games where I scored 12 points or less. I got 4 games where I scored 35 points or more, and then everything else is 17 points. I don't even know, dude. I just don't like the way it happens.
This trade happened twice. Would you do J.K. Dobbins for Jaden Reed?
I'd rather have J.K. Dobbins, man.
Okay, then the last one is a little package deal. Deontay Johnson, J.K. Dobbins for Tyrone Tracy. He just had a bad game this week.
Yeah, that was before the last game because everybody had a boner for Tyrone Tracy last week. I'd probably still keep Dobbins over. I would still probably keep Dobbins. You can get more for Dobbins, I would think. So those are a little bit disappointing to me. Just thinking about what Dobbins is worth. I would still try for more if I could. All right, man. I got a couple quick hitters, and then we'll move on to the smashes and crashes because we're spending a lot of time on this. Kyler Murray, Jason, only 3 top 12 finishes on the season. Did you know that?
No, but I'm not surprised. He only had 4 points this week.
People were just talking about how good he was. It's like new fantasies. Because in my mind, I was like, dude, why are you guys talking about how good he is this last week? Because he has one good fucking week or whatever.
His passing has not been good.
And we talked about it. It's like if it wasn't for his 40-yard rushing touchdowns, it'd be like, or these weird plays that he's been getting, he would be doing terrible. So Kyler Murray, man, if you could package him, get a different quarterback. I would even get Jordan Love right now, man. Jordan Love's been doing terrible. I'd fucking try to get Jordan Love. And then Kareem Hunt, Jason. Pacheco returning late November. All that sucks because he did not get the touchdowns. I thought he was going to have a huge game this week.
Me too.
When I wrote this.
Buccaneers been playing actually.
The Buccaneers. Oh, my God. They scored?
Tie game. 20 seconds left.
Who scored? Who scored?
Who's number 81?
Ryan Miller? I don't know. Dude, they are. And you know what's crazy, Jason? Xavier Worthy. We might as well forget about Xavier Worthy. Trade away Xavier Worthy as well.
I think part of the thing is maybe they don't have trust for him because anytime
against Tampa Bay, this motherfucker's not going to get a long touchdown. All right, so trade away Hunt, package him up, trade him away because Pacheco's coming back. And then DJ Moore, I put package that shit. DJ Moore, you can't get anything for. So you're going to have to put DJ Moore plus, like, I could go DJ Moore plus Tyrone Tracy and try to get something.
Yeah, we were expecting the spectacular out of Caleb Williams this year.
I don't want Caleb Williams. I don't want anything out of fucking Shane Waldron's ass, dude. Like, that shit sucks.
Yeah, and you gave that stat where it was a top 10 in catch rate or...
Oh, yeah, the uncatchable targets.
Yeah.
Highly accurate. Yeah, highly inaccurate. Highly inaccurate. It's like, what the fuck, dude? So, again, if you can trade away DJ Moore, I would. All right, man. Let's get into the smashes and the crashes. We're going to start off with the crashes. I'm going to, I'll timestamp it every single player, too, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, they may have just entered. Oh, okay.
All right, man. First, we're going to go crash first. We're going to end with positivity. So, Jason, this guy went against my Vikings. I was so afraid. I was like, I would start this dude over Sam Darnold. I would start this guy. You got him on waivers. I was super disappointed.
I know.
Thank God. I probably would have lost I might have lost. No, I wasn't at 1 still, but still. It would have cost me like 17 fucking points, dude.
Yeah, this was kind of crazy because
Joe Flacco.
You can throw the ball on the Minnesota Vikings. And like what I was saying earlier is that the offensive line has been doing great in protecting recently, but not this game. And Joe Flacco was 16 for 27 for 179 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 1 interception. That interception, it was so bad. It was so bad. He was sacked 3 times as well. Oh my gosh, who's the one that intercepted it? And he's like, yeah, it's great morale on my Madden team.
Oh, it was buying him.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, Cameron buying him or something.
Yep.
We won the Super Bowl. His morale was maxed out green. I was like, well, that makes me happy.
Yeah. He's happy now. In real life, he's like, his morale is great. So, yeah, he was sacked 3 times. Morale. He was sacked 3 times in that game. Flacco's completion percentage was 59%. That's minus 11 below expectation. So, he was not. I mean, that means he's awful. It was awful. He was all right. This is where my joke came from. Tell me what you think. He was expecting to be dropping dimes, but instead he was dropping limes because his play was so sour.
It's really good.
Okay. Got Tyler Ward's approval.
All my jokes. I don't even write. I don't think it's funny that you write jokes.
Well, because I think of it when I'm doing it, and I'm like, I want to put that in.
I put LOL sometimes.
LOL.
That's as far as I go.
Like reading something, you're all LOL. Oh. Okay, so the Vikings D-line, they definitely won the battle and impacted Joe Flacco this game. Next week, they are home against Buffalo, who is ranked 22nd in quarterback scoring.
Yeah, dude. So let's see. Joe Flacco, Indianapolis, Jason, average negative 0.35 expected whatever attempts. EPA, efficiency per attempt, whatever it is. Per play on offense tonight. That is their worst mark of the season, and so that's why everybody was asking. They like, oh, Shane Steichen, is Joe Flacco the quarterback of the future? And he said, yeah, he's a quarterback for the rest of the season. Because that was the worst the offense has done. Right. Even with Anthony Richardson.
Man, it was a Sunday night game. He usually in bed by like 5:30. He was tired, dude. He was ready to go to sleep.
This is usually when I leave the buffet.
Yeah.
Church ends at. I'm usually playing. I'm singing bass in the fucking church choir.
Yeah. I
thought you were just gonna sing a Halo shit.
Halo.
Oh, I can't even sing.
I was trying to think of the drums.
Hey, Jason came over. Guess what, man? We drank. We played Halo 1 campaign, motherfucker. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, God, nostalgia.
If you're 38 years old, you know all about that Halo 1 campaign.
Yeah,
we brought the pain.
Yeah, we brought the pain in the campaign.
All right. Anyways,
grenades are crazy. By the way, God, the grenades were crazy.
You get blown up, dude. Jesus,
my ass was blown.
All right. Next up, Jason. I started this guy. Everybody. I said everybody had a boner for him after last week. Top 20 running back rest of the season. I'm like, yeah. I get it. I mean, I watched Baldy's breakdowns. I was like, this guy's amazing. He had his worst night, and you talked about expectations and all this stuff, dude. Yeah. Tyrone Tracy disappointed me this week. If I had a tougher matchup, I would have been so pissed off.
This was a weird game because I remember I was watching this game because I have Jaden Daniels on the rocks, and I was sitting there, I was like, dude, Tyrone Tracy, he just keeps getting the ball. He just keeps getting the ball. I was like, he's going to get like 100 rushing yards this game in the first half. Well, he was 16 for 66. 0 touchdowns, 4.1 yards per carry. He also had 1 reception on 1 target. He had the worst rushing yards under expected per attempt at minus 1.46. And that's with only 8 men in the box, 6% of the time for his carries. That is bad. That is scary bad. Scary. I'm scared.
What, that scared me right there.
Oh, dude.
What did it say?
Oh, it was Baker Mayfield throws game time. Oh, I thought it said they won the game. Anyways, the Commanders have allowed the 6th most rushing yards in the last 3 games. This was supposed to be a good matchup. He was hyper involved in the first half, but not so much in the second. Next week, he is at Carolina, who allows the most points to running back. So, bounce back game, hopefully.
I'm probably going to be starting him, and I'll probably move Cedric Tillman to my wide receiver too, and fucking bench Devin. I'd rather start Tyrone Tracy against Carolina than DJ Moore. I don't know who the fuck.
This was just a weird game because after seeing what he did against the Steelers, where he rushed for like 147 yards against them, I was like, bro, this is the guy.
I know because that Steelers maybe sure. he was injured, so maybe he was like, they're like, all right, he's good to go, man. And he's all blurry eyed and shit.
Yeah, his helmet's on backwards and stuff. He was wearing Tiki Barber's jersey going out there. Yeah.
So yeah, but I did want to say that Tracy played 47 snaps and Devin single carry only played 18, so he still has that job on a chokehold, man. And the way that team's going right now, they need him. Mm-hmm. So it's like they need to run the fucking ball. Like they didn't throw the ball once to Neighbors in the first half, dude.
I think Daniel Jones, I saw the craziest stat line. He was 4 for 4 with 0 yards in the first half.
Oh my god. So yeah. All right, next up, man. This guy's a repeat offender. All right, so
yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr., man. I would tell you to trade away him, but I don't think his value is. You should have traded him away last week. I think I did tell you to trade him away last week, actually. So yeah, wait for him to have some random big game again and then trade him away, because that is kind of a roller coaster over there. It's James Conner's team and McBride's team and everything else is pretty inconsistent. So Marvin Harrison Jr., Jason, that Jalen Johnson, I told you not to fucking start him in the goddamn on Wednesday's episode of the wide receiver cornerback stuff.
Yeah.
And it worked out, man. I said not to start him maybe once. He had Jalen Ramsey before, and it worked out.
He had to make some spectacular catches for that,
but
though.
Man, but you can't be taking the odds against these shutdown corners every single week.
Right. And he's got a pretty rough schedule right now. But he only had 3 points. He had 2 receptions for 34 yards on 5 targets. But Kyler Murray, he only had 13 completions. The Bears have a tough secondary, like he's been saying. Harrison face off against Johnson, who is one of the best cornerbacks in the league. The Cardinals rushed the ball 34 times for over 200 yards and had 3 rushing touchdowns that game. Passing the ball was not in their game plan for this week. Next week they play against the Jets, where he now is going to face against Sauce Gardner. So it doesn't get any better for him.
Yeah, and the Jets, man, have been allowing a lot of points for 3 weeks in a row ever since they fired Saleh, but still, it's not a good matchup, man. All right, man. Next up, we got Zach Ertz. Donut. I used to hate when people in high school go, "You like donuts?" Punch me. I'm like, dude, one of these days I'm going to be bigger than you. I'm going to kill you.
Right. One of these days.
Yeah. Anyways, it was too late. Nobody did that shit when I was like a junior in high school.
No.
Maybe, I don't remember. Jason, there were only 19 targets for. Oh gosh, I should have said this.
Are you reading my stuff right now?
Is there no? Okay, Zach Ertz, Jason. Hey, we said that his floor is higher than most. I think I even said to start him because his floor is fucking high. Look what happened, man. He busted it. He's busted
in multiple rooms all over.
Anywhere he wants, man.
Anywhere he wants.
Loads.
Like dump truck. All over. This game was a very run-heavy game. The Commanders ran the ball 38 times. And they played with them most... Wait. And they played with the lead most of the game. That's what I said. I left out one word. They played with the lead most of the game, so it's not like they were having to throw the ball to take the lead or, win the game or whatever. Ertz had 10 PPR points last time they played against the Giants, but it was an entirely different game plan at that time. Next week they play the Steelers, and they are ranked 17th in tight end points.
Dude, if Baker Mayfield was on the Chiefs, they'd be killing the.
It would be the 2007 Patriots, man.
I'm just saying, I can't believe it's a tie game. And, I mean, I get that he lost Rashee Rice, but he's got DeAndre Hopkins, Travis Kelce.
I know. How do they do that?
And it's just like in a crazy-ass defensive secondary, and they're still tied.
I hate when he does that.
I just don't like – I mean, I haven't liked Patrick Mahomes since I drafted him, and he did terrible. And then Kelce, the same thing, man. Last year made me hate all the Chiefs. Oh, my God, I hated the Chiefs last year. But there were only 19 targets for the Commanders in Week 9, but Noah Brown caught 6 of them. And he had a 32% target share, Jason. So Noah Brown just kind of ate into Ertz. Ate him. Ertz donuts.
He ate those donuts.
Woo! Jason. New York Giants only created 5 pressures versus Washington, which kind of makes me think like that was just really bad, right? And so when he's pressured more, he would throw to Ertz, I would think.
Yeah, because, he's the slowest person out there. He ain't going to get far. He's going to be the closest to a line of scrimmage.
All right, Jason, let's go to the smashes.
Smashes.
Joe Burrow, man. Like I said, I don't like the way he gets his fucking points. He's going to be like a top 5 quarterback. It's like it comes and goes, man. He'll lose your weeks, win your weeks. Lose your weeks, win your weeks. So that's just the way it is. But, hey, this is one of the winning weeks, Jason. And, like, when you said he had, like, 4 touchdowns, you're like, man, Joe Burrow. I was like, dude, that's like Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, but it's funny that T. Higgins wasn't playing.
I know.
Still.
And I feel like the Raiders actually have a pretty good secondary, too.
I thought they were a run funnel defense for a while because they were allowing, like the 10th fewest points to wide receivers for a while.
Yeah, well, they allowed everything this game. Quarterback Joe Burrow with 29 points, 27 for 39, 251 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He also had 11 yards rushing. His intended air yards was 6.5. That's a little below average on the week, but when you're top 5 in passing attempts in Week 9 with a completion percentage of 69,
nice.
You're going to rack up yards. God, I was hoping for play on word there, but I couldn't think of anything at the last minute.
Wine 'em, dine 'em, 69 'em.
With yards. I don't know. I got nothing. 2 of his touchdowns were in the 10-yard line. The Bengals couldn't convert rushing touchdowns on goal line carries, so Burrow took advantage of that. In a favorable matchup, and Burrow's also next week Burrow's at Baltimore, who allows the 3rd most points to quarterback. So are we going to see back-to-back weeks where he's pulling up these huge numbers?
So he finished, Jason, outside top 12 for 3 straight weeks heading into this week. So outside top 12 for almost a month. Then he fucking goes nuclear, quarterback 1 this week.
I know. So,
and then he gets a good matchup next week. But even when he has a good matchup, I'm still nervous. And you saw with Bo Nix. I mean, Bo Nix didn't throw that much against Baltimore, because we talked about how they're, as far as tight, they cover wide receivers at the tightest rate. Like their separation is the lowest between the cornerbacks and the wide receivers in the NFL. But they give up the most yards. So maybe
it's insane.
I'm waiting for it to go back, like to them being good. I don't know what's going on. So maybe this was the first week of that happening. And then, hey man, next up we got Rico Dowdle, dog. I'm trying to get ETN over this fucking team, and Rico Dowdle's out here balling because he knows ETN's on the way.
That's probably why, huh?
I don't know.
Running back, Uncle Rico Dowdle with 21 points. 12 rushes for 75 yards, 0 touchdowns at 6.3 yards per carry. 5 receptions, 32 yards, and 1 touchdown on 6 targets. He was 3rd in the team in targets. He was 12th this weekend in rushing yards over expected per attempt with .52. This comes as a surprise because Cowboys' offensive line is one of the worst to produce yards before contact, and the Falcons' defensive line is one of the best in allowing. Who was that?
Kareem Hunt. I was reading this. I was like, why does Kareem Hunt have a touchdown on this?
Oh, so you just won the game. Well, there you go. You got it.
Oh, wait. Don't they get a chance to rebut?
No, because that was the first drive. As long as you scored a touchdown, game over.
Dude, so Travis Kelce, 16 targets.
Wow.
14 receptions and 100 yards.
That's crazy.
DeAndre Hopkins, man, 9 targets, 8 receptions, 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Hopkins, man. I would rather have DeAndre Hopkins right now.
Yeah, I think so.
Your dad has like fucking way too many wide receivers, dude. Doesn't he have DeAndre Hopkins?
Yeah.
Dude, he has way too many wide receivers.
We got to kill him. Okay, so Rico, his last 5 games, he has scored over 10 points, but not sure what to expect now with Dak Prescott out. Cowboys play the Eagles, who are ranked 29th in running back scoring. Not very good. Not a good matchup.
Damn, dude. That's crazy shit. Sorry. Now I'm going to try to trade away to Kareem Hunt again. Thank God. 100 yards and touchdown, man. Let's go.
It's like, you want this. You want this.
Don't you want this guy?
I'm doing this for you. I'm doing it for you.
All right, man. Next, so with no Zeke Elliott, Rico Dowdle hit 72% in the snap share. That his previous high was 51%, Jason, so that's really good. Prescott held the ball for 7.08 seconds, the second longest time to a throw to a touchdown pass of his career on that touchdown pass to Dowdle.
That was the crazy.
And that was the fourth longest wide this season. So we watched that. That was some crazy shit. For having a bad offensive line, he had 7 seconds to throw the fucking ball, dude. Next up, man. JSN, I said, dude, when DK Metcalf doesn't start, you start JSN. He gets like tons of targets every once in a while. This was one of those weeks, Jason.
Yeah, wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba, 38 points, 7 receptions, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns on 13 targets. He led the team. Targeted air yards was 19. That's second this week, and it had 69% of Seattle team's air yards, which is also second of the week. He was even 2.6 yards above expectation with yards after the catch. That's great. This was the best game of the season and second game in a row with over 10 points. If Metcalf is out, JSN is in. Expect for next week, or what am I saying? But not next week because we're on the bye next week.
Man, well, I was just thinking so 3 of 5. He was 3 of 5. 3 receptions on 5 targets of 20-plus air yard targets. So weeks 1 through 8, he was 0 of 5 on those. So he had 3. So he had the same amount in one game as he did weeks 1 through 8.
That's almost like the Tyler Lockett role.
Yeah. So he usually does not get deep targets. He usually never gets deep targets. He had the same amount of deep targets in one game as he did all season long. So that was the difference there. And the next up, Jason, as a smash, Gesicki. And if you want to try to trade away JSN, I would, because DK Metcalf will be back and things will go back to normal. So I would try to trade away JSN. He's like wide receiver 14 or some shit right now in PPR. Gesicki, Jason. He's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Which one's a good one? Who would you rather have on your fantasy team? Probably Mr. Hyde.
I think Hyde.
Yeah. So Mr. Hyde is when Higgins is out.
I see. Just
I was thinking the
league was sort of
he's just like fucking jumping on buildings and shit. If you looked at me and did that, I'd be like, "You're Dr. Jekyll."
You know who it was. Yeah, that's good.
Go watch Hellboy 1, the first Hellboy. That movie's amazing, dude. That's not the same movie.
I know. I was like, sequel, man. Watch Hellboy 1. Great movie. Okay, are you done with your
Gesicki
thing? Okay, so tight end Mike Gesicki with 28 points, 5 receptions, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns on 6 targets. Second in targets. He averaged a 13 targeted air yards, which is great for tight ends. He had a 47-yard touchdown where he ran about 30 yards after the catch, which is also great. He was as fast as a jet ski in the water.
Jeez. Kenny Powers jet skis, man.
If T. Higgins is out, my jet ski is in.
So, yeah, okay, so
next week they're at Baltimore.
Yeah, and Gesicki, dude, and versus Baltimore, I'd love to have him there. So, target share without T. Higgins is 20%. With T. Higgins, it's 5%. So, that's what I'm saying, dude. He fills that role to Higgins, and that's a very important role there. Yep. And his backup just went on IR, the rookie tight end, Eric All Jr. Yep. Jason's favorite tight end on Madden.
Oh, no, don't do that to me.
That's what it is. All right, everybody, that is the show. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any trade targets, any smashes or crashes, anybody you want to talk about, man, any questions, please comment down below. Again, let us know if you like this in-person stuff, dude. I know you can't see all of our pores on our face like you usually can, but still, if you want to buy one of these, this is Jason and Tyler, dolls. Good luck, dude. One of ones. Maybe if we get bigger, support us on Patreon. Maybe we'll start selling some shit, something like that. Hey, this is the Fantasy Red Zone, and we appreciate you.